You know, in the last video that I did for y'all, 5 men's fragrance releases that did not make sense. I thought that was a really cool video. I'm starting to come up with some cool concepts. So I did a video of scents that did not make sense. I got to counter that with 5 men's releases that did make sense. What's up, everybody? My name is Justin and welcome to my channel, 502 Fragrance Reviews. For those of y'all that are tuning in again to another one of my videos, I appreciate all the support you get towards my channel. And if you are new watching this video, hit the subscribe button below, hit the post notification bell to let you know whenever I upload a new video. So, without further ado, let's talk about 5 men's fragrance releases that did make sense. Smart by y'all brands. The first fragrance I'm gonna talk to y'all about, and it's not really one fragrance, it's actually multiple, but they're in the same line, and I'm gonna bunch it together because I can. That is modernized Ralph Lauren polo releases. Show me some text. So Ralph Lauren is obviously feeling the pressure. What I mean by that is their polo fragrances are not selling as well as they used to. They're just not. That is definitely evident by them coming out with Ralph Lauren Ralph's Club this year, and that scent is copying other popular scents on the mainstream market. So they're trying to get more modern with their scents. And let me get rid of that trash. Polo red, blue, green, and black. I'll talk about black in a second. These are ones that sold well in the past for Ralph Lauren. So what did Ralph Lauren do? Very smart here. They came out with modernized versions of these. Polo red, meet Polo red eau de parfum. Polo cologne, polo green, meet Polo green eau de parfum. Polo blue, meet Polo deep blue. Polo black, they haven't done yet, but if you watch my other video, 5 future men's releases I think should happen, so I talked about that in that video. Yeah, check it out. It's something that made sense. And did we care about it coming out? Well, it depends on who you ask. I didn't care as much, but the average consumer, you know, they probably did. Someone probably wore Polo red. Oh, there's a new Polo red? They'll check it out. Even though the fragrance community wasn't excited by this stuff probably, the average consumer probably was. And that's what you're gonna go with if you wanna make more money, if you wanna be smart. Don't cater to the fragrance community to a certain extent. It just made sense. I love when brands come out with something that makes sense that brings in more money for them. And the modernized polo releases from Ralph Lauren is that. Speaking of modernizing older scents, let's talk about another one, right? Came out last year. From the house of Giorgio Armani, Acqua di Gio, Profondo. Let's show it. So, Acqua di Gio, a very popular scent from the 90s, brought the whole marine genre to the fragrance industry. And even though somehow, some freaking way, that still sells very well, Giorgio Armani thought better. It's like, you know what? We've come out with different flankers of Acqua di Gio and they've sold well, but let's come out with a flanker release that takes our original Acqua di Gio DNA and modernizes it with the trends of what's going on nowadays. You mesh it together, hey, you get Acqua di Gio Profondo. And to me, even though I'm past this type of scent, to me it's not as exciting as it used to be. This was very freaking smart by Armani. It really was. And if you smell both Acqua di Gio Profondo and the original Acqua di Gio, you'll notice that they are remarkably similar, obviously because it's a flanker, but to me, it's the most true to the original DNA over the other flankers. Acqua di Gio Absolute, Profumo, and Sins is discontinued, but that was very true to it too. But anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is, this made a lot of sense to me by combining the modernized trends and ingredients out there from these aroma chemical companies with the original OG Acqua di Gio DNA. This release has done very, very well for Armani. Smart job. It made sense. This next release I want to talk to you about is one that is sadly discontinued. And it sucks because this release made a lot of sense. That is Viktor&Rolf Spicebomb Eau Fresh. This one right here, let's show it. This one, man. So the Spicebomb line which is right over here, the original Spicebomb, Spicebomb Extreme, then you got the Spicebomb Infrared and the Night Visions. That scent is more of, obviously a spicy scent, but it's more of a nighttime geared scent. It's geared for the fall and winter, but it's also geared towards the nighttime, whether it's date night or nights out. That's what that does very well. And then Viktor&Rolf, back in, whenever they came out with this, 2014 maybe? I can't remember. They came out with Spicebomb Fresh. And this took the Spicebomb DNA of the original and it took it in a more fresher direction without compromising the original DNA of the scent. They still had the spicy nature of it, and they added some sea salt and I think some grapefruit to make it much more suitable for the warmer weather, for the spring and the summertime. And this can also be more considered a more daytime alternative to the other spice I just showed y'all. Now, this came out before I really got into fragrances, so I don't know how well this sold, because Spicebomb Extreme is still out. That's been out for a while now, and I think, and I'm going to look more into this, I'm just guessing here, but I think what a lot of flanker releases nowadays, these brands are giving it a 5-year, maybe 6-year, maybe 7-year window, but after that, I think these brands like to discontinue a flanker that's been out that long and bring in a new one and repeat that potentially 7-year cycle. This has been out for a while, I know, or it was out for a while before it got discontinued, but it just made so much sense to me. Yes, it doesn't do what these other spice bombs do that I showed you, it doesn't do what that does, but it took the OG DNA, you clearly smelled it in the Spicebomb Fresh, and it was just a more fresher, sea salty, citrus little bit version. It made sense, but it is sadly discontinued. If y'all watch my other video that I mentioned already, the five future men's releases that should happen, you'll you'll know that I talked about this fragrance I'm gonna talk to you about now in that video. Stumbling my words. Calvin Klein's Eternity Eau de Parfum version. Right here, let's go. This one, to me, made a lot of sense. Why did it make sense, Justin? The original Calvin Klein Eternity right here is a classic for Calvin Klein. It's one of their staple fragrances. It sold very well back in the day. It does not sell well at all now. Typically a lot of older guys go for this. So what did Calvin Klein do? They did the modernizing of one of their classics. Very smart, Calvin Klein, with Calvin Klein's Eternity Eau de Parfum. They took the original DNA, made it a little bit more deeper, and modernized it with more modern aroma chemicals or ingredients that's out now that wasn't accessible back then. And this release, to me, when it came out, I think it was 2019, 2018, I don't know. To me, when it came out that year, it was one of the more interesting ones that year because it was doing something different for everything else. Yes, it's based off the original Eternity, but nowadays, this type of scent profile on the mainstream market, you can't really find it much. So it's a breath of fresh air whenever you smell it, to me. Eternity Eau de Parfum is a breath of fresh air. It made a lot of sense. Just to wrap it up real quick, a modernized take at the original Eternity, a little bit deeper, richer. Eternity Eau de Parfum. It made a lot of sense. This last one is one that is much, 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 much more popular in the fragrance community than the average consumers. I assure you this. This is Terre d'Hermès Teint Fresh. This one right here. Last one. Let's talk about it. So, as y'all know, or you should know, Terre d'Hermès Teint Fresh is a more fresher, slightly aquatic, a little bit, version of the original Terre d'Hermès. And I thought that this release right here was brilliant by Hermès. It was brilliant because the original Terre d'Hermès, it's love it or hate it type of scent. I mean, for us in the fragrance community, we generally like this scent. It's more of an earthy vetiver type scent. And vetiver, I'm telling y'all right now, vetiver is a fragrance note that is very polarizing to the average consumers. Very polarizing. I know this for a fact. I have experience with it with customers. So, Hermès probably knew that too, because they came out with Terre d'Hermès Teint Fresh. It's a much more easier on the nose version of the original Terre d'Hermès. It made perfect sense. Very, very smart, Hermes. And this fragrance right here is still out. I hope they never discontinue it because I think this is actually a very nice fragrance. Of course, the original Teint Hermes is fantastic, but I really like this one, especially for the summertime, springtime. I mean, it's probably work year round, the daily scent, but it made a lot of sense. Good on you, Hermes, for Teint Hermes Teint Fresh. That's all I got for y'all today, man. Let me know in the comment section below, what are y'all thoughts on my thoughts of these 5 fragrances? Let me know in the comment section below, and also let me know what are some other releases that came out in the past that y'all thought made sense. Now, I want y'all to think as a business person here, not as someone that's just hardcore in the fragrances. You gotta think like a business person. That's why I'm sharing my thoughts with y'all as I'm pursuing a career in fragrance. But yeah, I hope y'all have a nice day, nice evening whenever y'all watching this, man. Till next time.